Hello, welcome to my channel Visa Talks PK. So in today's video, I'm sharing with you the step-by-step guide of how to fill the Malta study visa application form. I'll also be sharing with you the specific charges, amounts you need to pay at VFS, particularly for Nigerians applying for the Malta study visa through VFS Service Center in Lagos. I'll share with you that information. So watch this video to the end to get the clarity on how to fill the form and also the applicable charges required for VFS. So yes, as you are seeing on the screen, I would be sharing with you this live document. This is an application that has already been submitted, and of course, the applicant did not have any issues at VFS. So this is like a template of how you fill the form. So first, what I did was rather than filling in pen, I to just make your work neat, I fill this as typed on it and type the applicant's information. So first legal name, of course, your last name or your surname as is written on the passport. Then your given names. The identity number is your national identity number, which of course every Nigerian would have. So in as much as you have your international passport. Also, of course, nationality Nigerian. If you are Indian, you can specify such. Then for the place of birth, your place of birth, of course, is mentioned on your international passport. So country of birth Nigeria, date of birth. So for the date of birth, you first start with the day, the month, and the year. So 14th, of course, is the day, the month, February, and the year. You complete. Then the current occupation. So what are you doing currently as you're applying for the Malta study visa? What are you doing currently? So you mentioned that on the form. So clearly this person is a digital marketing executive. So it's mentioned there. Gender you tick, marital status you tick as applicable. Then for the fixed telephone number, you leave it blank. It does not apply to you, right? It doesn't apply to you. It's not applicable to you. So you leave it blank. Mobile number, you put in the dial code and of course your regular mobile number. Your email address, of course, you mention clearly, for the on the application form. Type of travel document, it's an ordinary passport you'll be using to travel. Then you tick ordinary. Then if others specify, it doesn't apply to you, so you leave that. So travel document number is your passport number. Your passport number you also declare clearly. Issuing country, of course, is Nigeria. The date of issue, remember the date, you want to put the date is the day, the month, and the year. So you follow that through as it applies to you on your passport. Then the purpose of travel, your purpose of travel is usually study, right? Because it's a study visa. So you tick study and you're fine. Then, of course, the border of first entry, people get confused at this level. Your border of first entry does not necessarily mean where your flight is taking you through. You're entering through Malta. So you're going to Malta, your destination is Malta, so you tick Malta as per your border of entry. And if I would advise you for efficiency and for seamless visa submission, always you book your ticket, which is the reservation, it's part of the visa application document. Book your ticket through Turkish Air. So Turkish Air will fly through Istanbul, and then from there you connect to Malta. Very straightforward. Don't book again. Our advice, I mean, it's up to you, but then Ethiopian Air that takes longer routes or other airlines that have like multiple stops. So try to make reservations with Turkish Air. So like I said, Turkish Air goes from Istanbul, up. So your destination to Istanbul connects to Malta. Then for your tentative date of arrival, this is very important. You need to note this well. So on the visa checklist, it is mentioned that applicants should not visit or rather arrive the country, that's Malta, maximum 2 weeks prior to the commencement of your study. You need to mention that. You need to note that clearly. So on this visa form, the expected commencement date of the applicant, for study is October 5th. 5th of October, that's when the person arrives. So if you calculate 2 weeks prior to that, it is 21st of that October, that's 21st of September 2026. So it is mentioned, you should ensure that you stick to that timeline, because if you don't, if you fill it way over or so, you might get your application form, you have to refill again. So 2 weeks prior to commencement of your study is when you need to arrive in Malta. Then the tentative date of our departure, it is always written on the visa support letter issued to the school by issued to you by the school, right? So you pick that tentative departure date, calculate it and put it on the form. Then for, of course, country of residence, you fill as applied to you. The house address, you feel again, it's very, very, very clear. Your postcode, you can always set your postcode online, so you can get that and you feel accordingly. Then for the address of where you will be staying in Malta, for this person, the person got admission into the University of Malta, so there's a campus hub. So the address you mentioned there, the city, and of course the postcode is mentioned on the accommodation letter that was given to you. So just copy out and fill accordingly. And for the host details, remember the person is going to school, yeah? So the University of Malta is the host. So you take organization, the organization's name, of course, University of Malta. The address is Mincida, city is Mincida, Malta. Postcode, of course, you take accordingly. So these details are reflected on the visa support letter that was issued to you. Then for the mobile number, you leave identity number, fixed telephone number, you leave those. The mobile number is also reflected on the top right corner of the visa support letter that was issued to you. So you tick that also strongly, you fill that also according to what the visa support letter states. And for this person, this was the phone number stated, and of course, this was the email address also stated on the visa support letter. On this particular point of who is paying for the trip is very tricky because most persons are being sponsored, or sometimes you're being sponsored. If you're not paying for yourself, right, you're using a sponsor, but the form does not clearly give you the option of sponsor. It always says myself, host organization, or host person. So even if you're sponsored, right, tick myself because your sponsor will be sponsoring your visa or your study through you. So you tick myself and you'll be fine. So in most cases, the part 4 of the application form is not relevant because it's talking to people that are underage or they're under legal guidance. So you leave that and you just proceed to the final part, which is part 5, which is the declaration form, which is where you sign. So on the declaration part, which is the part 5 and the final part of the application form, you scroll down and of course you see the applicant signature. On this, you don't need to sign electronically. Once you've been able to put the date of signature, which is of course the date, the month, and the year, as you can see on the application form, you print out the form and you sign, electronically. Of course, you can sign on the day of your submission. It doesn't matter. Sorry, you sign with your pen. You don't sign electronically. So now that I'm able to give you a guide of how you can fill the application form, we'll now proceed to the major money, the exact fee you need to pay or you need to get prepared, to pay once you visit the VFS center. So yes, at this point, once you get to VFS, remember that when you're booking the appointment, you've already paid a 150 euro visa fee. So these fees are different. So for VFS, let me just check on the screen first. The VFS fee is 255,000 naira. 255,000. Then of course you need to pay a courier fee of 22,100. Then SMS charge, I don't know what that means, but then 3,400 is the SMS charge. Then the photo fee is 6,800. So by total, you need to gather another 287,300 when you're going to VFX. Most people think once they've paid the visa fee, then that's all. So no, you need to gather yourself and be ready to pay another 287,300, and you pay through your ATM card, your point of sale card. So you need to be prepared, have that money in your account. They don't take cash. So you need to be prepared to pay electronically once you are done with your submission. Yeah, so that's all about the filling the form and what you need to expect in terms of payment at the VFS Service Center. Watch this video. Watch out for the next video of how you can create how you can book your appointment yourself directly on the VFS portal once you've gotten your admission and you're proceeding to book your appointment with VFS. So thank you very much for watching this video. If the video is very helpful, please of course like, please share, and also please of course subscribe to our channel. Until that next video, bye bye.